Hey everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Melissa. Today is Sunday Reset Back to School edition. And for the next 3 videos, maybe 4, we'll see, I am going to be going over a lot of things that we do in our home to get ready for back to school, to get myself ready for back to school, from like meal planning and things like that just help me stay on track all year long so that I don't feel so frazzled and just totally out of control, and it just allows me to pivot easier when I need to. So today on the agenda, let me just go over what we've got going on. I need to finalize my school binder. I'll show you what that looks like, how I try to eliminate as much paperwork as I possibly can. And then our school closet, some of you have seen that, but I need to revamp it this year. My kids are, for those of you that don't know, my kids are going to be sophomore and senior. And so there's just things that we don't need to do anymore that we used to do before. So we're gonna kind of restructure that a little bit. And then I'm going to show you my meal binder. We do our own hot lunch because I'm too cheap to pay for that other, and a lot of times it's just not the more healthy option. So we have a system in our house where we do just our own things every week. So we have one thing for a week, and then we have another set of options for the other week. So basically, the kids aren't eating the same exact thing week after week after week. They trade it up, much like my meal plan for those of you that have seen that. So let's say tomorrow being Monday, my kids would have a whole week's worth of meals, and then next week they would have another week's worth of meals, and then the week after that they would have what they would have this week, if that makes sense. So for my own personal meal plan menu, I showed you before, we do like weeks 1 and 3 are the same, weeks 2 and 4 are the same. That was probably an easier way to explain that, but whatever. You got more words. So that is what I'm also going to show. And then let's see what else. I'm forgetting something. Oh, I wanted to show you what I did to just kind of put some motivating thoughts in my kids' minds every morning as they're getting ready and heading out. Just ways to build confidence, self-esteem, and that kind of thing, because I feel like, especially in this day and age with like social media and all of that, our kids are constantly like questioning their worth and their value, and am I good enough, and what do people think of me, and it's insane. So I am just trying to figure out different little ways to just kind of drop love and motivation and just help build self-confidence through all of that. So I'll show you what that looks like. But first of all, let's see, what should I show you first? Let me show you the closet, because that is needing to be done. I'll probably do that first. Christian is mowing, so hopefully the sound of that doesn't get too obnoxious. All right, this is the school closet, and this is just a closet that is right off of our garage door. Over here we've got some Savers donations as we go about the day. But this closet only houses stuff for school. Whether it's like blankets for sports, if we're watching golf, if we're watching track. We usually don't need those for tennis because it's still hot as the dickens. But everything in here pertains to school for the most part, except for sunscreen, bug spray, and sunglasses. But even that I need to look at. So I need to kind of restructure that also. The shoes that are in this closet are shoes that the kids don't keep in their bedrooms. So for instance, it's a little bit different for Christian and Chloe. So for Christian in here, he pretty much keeps all of his tennis shoes in this closet because he doesn't want to go up and down all the time to like get shoes and take them upstairs and put them away, whatever. For Chloe, she really just kept her tennis shoes down here, and then she would keep like all of her other shoes upstairs. She obviously has more than he does, but she was also needing to store like her PE clothes and sports uniform, things like that. Well, she no longer has PE this year at our school. You only have PE through your freshman year, and then that's it. So we don't need that section anymore. So we need to kind of revamp that. I want to pull all of those out, vacuum behind it, mop behind it. And then over here, things have just kind of accumulated over the summer. Like we've got some water bottles here. We've got decorative sand. We've got a t-shirt that doesn't belong to either one of my kids. So just things like that, like a random candle, flip-flops, a fidget spinner. And then up here, we've got just a bunch of gloves. And we've got gloves in here also, but this is turned around the wrong way. Oh, there we go. You get the idea. And you see the need to go through here. So that says kids gloves, hats, adult hats, whatever. I kind of feel like at this point, we wear the same things as our kids now because just of their size. So I really don't feel like we need a specific section for kids gloves and kids hats and things like that. We just kind of grab what is available because it fits us all now. So I'm gonna redo that probably. And then over here on this wall or door, this is where the kids hang their bags for sports. So if they have practice after school, they will fill this with everything that they need, and then it just hangs on this little hook right here. Since Christian is the only one currently driving, but not for long, this is where he keeps his wallet and his keys. This is just one of those little pin holders that I got from Walmart, and I put it up here with a Velcro strip. And so when he comes home, he just opens this, throws his stuff in there, and we're not searching around for it. You'll probably notice that I'm holding this door. It is because I had Sam, and I see that I need to wipe the soot, or I know it's not soot, but whatever you want to call it, off up there. But when we first moved into this house, this door looked like this all the time, and it was constantly open, and I was having to shut it and ask to have it shut, and it just became an absolute nuisance. And so I asked Sam to put one of these on this door, and it just automatically shuts on its own. So when it's not being held, it just closes just like that, and it is glorious. That was not a hill that I was willing to die on, and so we had to figure out another option. Over here, because we don't have electricity in this closet, I had to figure out a way to kind of light this area a little bit so that we could kind of see what was going on if need be. And so I found these little puck lights that I put up with 3M strips back there. And they are out of battery, so I need to change all of the batteries in these. But they just turn on with this little remote right here. It's not gonna do it because, like I said, they're dead, but it's a really great option if you don't have electricity in a specific area, just doing it this way. And you'll see once I get the batteries in, they really do light it up fairly well in here. We just have our kids' coats hanging over here. Oh, I bet that was obnoxious in your ears, sorry. And then over here, we just have these hooks that house their backpacks. These are not up with 3M strips because their backpacks are insanely heavy all of the time. Sometimes they're so heavy, they just have to sit on the floor. But these are actually screwed into the studs. And I just found these at Walmart. I'll see if I can find them again and link them in the description. I'm not sure. I've had them for quite some time, but oh my land, what is in here? I'll have to look at that. I don't know why that would even be heavy. Unless I think that's the one that he took to Oklahoma. Anyways, I digress. So that is that. Those are usually over here off in the corner. And then this little section over here where everything has kind of accumulated is a shelf that each of them can put whatever stuff they need to for the next day. So obviously this says Christian, this says Chloe, and whatever they need to remind themselves to take to school the next day, this is where it needs to go. So whether it's homework or, you know, usually we don't try to do that. I'm like, get everything in your binder the night before, because we don't want to have to be running around searching for homework at 7 o'clock in the morning. So usually it's just things that don't pertain to homework that they need to remember to take to school. I wish I could give you some ideas right now, but I don't have any. It's just, this is what it's here for. So we've got that section there, and then up above, we've got water bottles, and like I said, these big blankets for when I am sitting outside, and then we've got their big water bottles for fall sports because it's still hot here. So that is one of today's missions. I think we will go ahead and tackle this first because this is kind of the bigger, more endurance needed project that needs to get done today. So I say we tackle this first and then we will do the other stuff afterwards.
Is it in the way you're moving? What's heaven like when you're like that? Is it in the way you're moving? Sunlight, sunlight. Is it in the way you're moving? What's heaven like when you're like that? Baby, give me more highlight, sunlight. Baby, give me more, some more, summer. It's a summer vibe when it's just you and I. Take your time, it's your life when it's just you and I. It's a summer vibe, yeah, it just feels so right. So take your time when it's just you and I. Sunlight, my light, feel it in the air, you're moving. It's better now, but you're around. Feel it in the air, you're moving. You're shining on, shining on. See it on my skin, I'm glowing. What's heaven like when you're like that? It's a summer vibe when it's just you and I. Take your time, it's your life when it's just you and I. It's a summer vibe. Yeah, it just feels so right. So take your time when it's just you and I. When it's just you and I. Hi, this is Summer. Please leave a message after the beep. And just so you know, I'll get back to you 1st of June. Bye. When it's just you and I. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we rewind. Feels so nice. We time.
I would consider this space a success. So this side of the wall didn't change at all. It's all the same. But up here, I put all of my bags for savers in this container. And I moved all of the sunscreen and bug stuff that we do use down to here. So that's got like some of your little wristbands and then the other sunscreen. And so that is up there. We have this math book for Chloe that I got on eBay. She's going to be doing Algebra 2 this year. And I always try to have a book for like the teacher's edition for Sam, because we all know I don't understand what it says. But that way, if he needs to help them, he can kind of like guide himself through as well. And they're extremely cheap on eBay if you get them used, because like we don't care what they look like. We just need it to function. And then I switched out these. We just have one bin for our gloves and then one bin for hats. And then for the shoes, all of Christian's stayed the same. So he does not need a designated drawer for sports, because since his is golf, everything just stays in his golf bag. So he doesn't have to worry about needing an additional space to house it. But for Chloe, she has a section here for tennis and then a section for track. And then just tennis shoes and like slides. Oh, she doesn't have her slides there, which means they're somewhere around this house that I'm gonna trip on. This one I see I need to swap out. This is Christian's Crocs one. Not that it really matters, but I sleep better at night, friends. So that is Crocs, and then he's got slides down here, and then everything else is tennis shoes. The next thing that I need to do is put together our meal plan system for the next 3 months. So in a normal world, when our life goes as planned, I try to change up our recipes for like spring and summer and then fall and winter. Like I told you guys the other day, that didn't really happen this year because of us needing to pivot. And so I am going to go ahead and add a new 2 weeks of meals to our evenings, as well as breakfast and lunch ideas for the kids. So I asked them what items they wanted for breakfast and lunch, and this is what they came up with. So for their breakfasts, they chose avocado toast, yogurt bowls with fruit and granola, pears, eggs, chicken or turkey sausage, stripples, that's like a meatless bacon, beef bacon, waffles, pancakes, egg casserole, potato casserole, smoothie bowls, and pesto bread with egg. And then for our hot lunches, we've got soup, and there's 3 options: broccoli cheddar, potato, chicken noodle, all of them homemade. So I just would make those on Sunday to get ready for the week. And then chicken cheese panini, mac and cheese, pesto noodles, Caesar salad, burritos, and Asian noodles. Also chicken and rice and pigs in a blanket. And then these items here are things that they wouldn't mind eating twice. So like I said before, we do the same thing, the same meals on week 1 and 3, same meals on weeks 2 and 4. So with this list, I will put together 2 weeks worth of hot lunches. With the breakfast items, those, I need to look at that. They've given me a lot more ideas this year than last year, so this might be like a 2-week thing also, to where I just have everything in stock that they would want for that week, and then they can decide whatever it is that they want in the morning. I don't think that we need a set schedule like on Monday we're having pancakes, on Tuesday we're having chicken and turkey sausage and egg casserole. We're kind of past that in our season of life right now. So I think as long as I have the things in stock that they would want for that week, that would be fine. Here are my binders that I need to go through and switch out. As you can see, last year we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for all of this. Like I said, I think I'm going to just revamp that a little bit. but this is all from last year. So I just need to take out what needs to come out, leave in what needs to be left in, and then we can just have it all ready for this year. I wanted to show you one thing that I do. So this drives me insane. I just think that it looks messy, and it almost looks like something's wrong with it. So because I don't need to put anything in the back of that, because I have just the label here that is shown once it's on my shelf, I went ahead and just cut this plastic part off with my X-Acto knife. So I just took the X-Acto knife, sliced it down, just like I'm doing here, and then it will just be nice and clean, and we won't have this here. Lastly, for our dinner options, I had the kids go through these 3 cookbooks. So the first one is The Cook's Book by Brie McCoy, and she does a lot of really healthy options. So I had them go through here and mark things that they would want to eat. The blue tabs are Christian, pink are Chloe, and then Skinny Taste Simple. They've got marked in here what they would like to eat. Let's see. So just lots of really good options. I told them, like, don't pick pasta for every meal. Lots of options there. And then this healthy meal prep, Downshiftology. And there's a lot of things in here that they picked as well. So what I will do you see a theme with Christian by chance? The boy loves meat. But what I will do is go through here, and I will choose my 2 weeks of menus based on the things that they said that they wanted to eat. That way I don't get any of the, I don't want to eat that, that's disgusting, blah, blah, blah. And we just don't have to have that conversation. So these are things that they picked, and if they don't like it, then I can just say, well, this is what you put on the menu, so if you don't like it, then we need to change something out. But that is how I'm going to plan all of that out, and then I will just put it together in here. I need to go through these still as well and put them in their place for the year. These are just like cookies for lunch, and I don't know what else I've saved in here. Breakfast bars, things like that. But then I will switch this out. This is weeks 1 and 3, and then back here is weeks 2 and 4. So I will swap that out and get it all good to go, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I got my monthly meal plan and my breakfast and lunch binders both finished, and I did a little bit of revamping this year from last year. So in the front, you guys might remember I had this like little flap thing right here that just comes with the binder, and it always gets gross, it gets loose, all the things. So I just sliced it off with my X-Acto knife like I did the front here. And then I just put this little folder thing in here so that I am more prone to like putting the things away that need to be put away, as far as like new recipes or things that I'm going to make that week that might not be part of the norm. I find that for myself, if I put them over here, I kind of leave them there because they're not in my way. However, if this is covering up my dinner plan for the week, I am going to be more likely to get it out of this space so that I can see what I need to see every time I come to this book. So that is kind of my thinking with that. But I changed up my format just a little bit here. I changed my colors and all of that to just kind of go a little bit more with my color scheme in my home, because that's who I am. And so we have got a whole new list of meals for, let's see, how many months? It will be from August until March is how long we will go through these meals. And then March through July, we will do more meals that pertain to like spring and summer type foods. So this is what our plan is for the week. I do not set like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I can plan my week out as much as I want to, and life still happens. And so I find that for me, it is just a lot easier for me to pick a specific type of meal, and then throughout the week, depending on how much time I have to make dinner, then I can just pick from any of these. Generally speaking, our crock pot meals are on Sunday night. It's just easy for me to put it in the crock pot, not think about it, and be able to do the things that I need to get done for my Sunday reset. But then the rest of the week, other than indulge, this is typically Saturday nights. But oven, soup, casserole, and stove, these are all recipes that I can pull from on any day of the week. I have all of the ingredients, and I know that I can be ready to go depending on the amount of time that I have. As for Sabbath, this is Saturday for us. This is after church. I am going to start making pot pie with cottage cheese every Saturday after church. If we choose to go out with friends, then that's great. I just won't add this to my grocery list if I know ahead of time, or if I've already made it, then maybe I would gift it to someone else, give it to my parents, freeze it, and then I don't have to make it the next week. There's just a lot of different options, but for me, this is a one and done thing. I don't have to think about it again. My family loves it. It's easy. I can make it on Friday. I don't have to think about it. I can put it in the oven while we're gone. It will be ready when we come home. It's just a decide once for me. Behind my meal plan is my grocery list. And these are all of the ingredients that I need for every one of these items on my meal plan. So everything that goes into these recipes or side dishes is back here. I have them all separated between stores. So this whole front page is all of my Walmart stuff. I have all of my groceries, but then I also have all of my household things that I want to make sure and have every week. And so all I do is just go through and mark it off. Some of these things I don't end up having to order every time. I have shown you guys how I do my online ordering. I make lists. There is a list in my Walmart account that is for weeks 1 and 3, and then there's also a list for weeks 2 and 4. So in my list for weeks 1 and 3, literally everything on this page is in that list. If I were to add everything, I could just click add all items. But I generally don't need to do that because, you know, these things don't always run out over here under household. Sometimes, for instance, let's see, I don't need chocolate chips. I may not need monk fruit, you know, just things like that. But this is a really good check sheet for me. And so what I do, I have this in a sheet protector, and then I just go through here with a dry erase marker, and I just mark off as I go through the house and see exactly what I need. But these are all things that I want to make sure that our home is stocked with every week. Up here at the top, it says choose ingredients for cookies and muffins. I will ask the kids at the beginning of each week which ones they want because we have a few of them that they choose from, and then I will just add those ingredients individually. And then on the back, I have the other stores that are not Walmart. So Price Chopper, Sprouts, Costco, and then I have my Amazon lists as well. These are all things that I order for our home as far as groceries are concerned. And then underneath are all of our beauty products that we order from Amazon as well. So like face lotion, face soap, all that kind of thing. All of these are in my storefront if you are interested. But it's just an easy way for me to keep everything organized. And on these websites, I also have lists created to where they show everything that is on this list as well. So I have a Sprouts list for weeks 1 and 3 and weeks 2 and 4. And so all of these things are in that list so that I can just add as needed. The Costco list remains the same. These are all things that we keep stocked in our home from Costco. Amazon, both of those have lists as well, and so does Price Chopper. It is a one and done thing for me. I do not want to have to think about this every single week. It is not my love. And so this just works for me. It's a decide once. I can get all of the work done in the front end and be able to just be at peace for the next few months. And it's amazing. And then behind all of that, depending on the week, I have all of the recipes that pertain to that week's meal plan. So I have the recipe for the crock pot, and then so on and so forth. Again, I don't necessarily, so I have them in the order that they are listed, but again, it just depends on, how I choose to use them throughout the week. And then I also have my sides as well that I'm going to have with the different meals. And then we move on to weeks 2 and 4, which is all the same. And then back here, I have the different soups that we have if we decide that we want to kind of switch it up a little bit. And then I've got the different breads that I make as well. This is more of a fall one. This is a recipe that I'm holding on to for my simmer pot. And then I had something spill on my bread recipe, and so I need to get that. I just realized I forgot to do that. I need to get that printed off again and put back in here, but this is where I keep it. I don't want to have to be searching around for recipes, and so I just find that for me, it works so much better to just have it all in one place. And then breakfast and lunch is the same. Again, I took the thing off of this flap, added this little insert, and then these are all of our breakfast options that we have that you saw that the kids suggested. So I have them here on this first page, and then I have it titled breakfast. And then behind that, I just have all of the recipes that pertain to the different breakfast items. And so a lot of this I will make on Sunday, and then that way it's ready for the week. I will double up my recipes and freeze some, just whatever I have time for to make sure that we have the food for the next week. And then for their lunch, it follows kind of the same plan that we did last year. However, it's a little bit more simplified just because my kids are older. For those of you that don't know, my daughter's going to be a sophomore, my son will be a senior, and so they can do a lot themselves. But this is our weekly lunch plan. It's our version of hot lunch because we don't order hot lunch from school, but I have all of their sides here, and then like you saw, we add cookies and stuff to that. But then behind, it also has the recipes, just like the weekly meal plan did. And then I've got the days of the week here on the side. The ones that don't have anything in them are things that I don't need a recipe for. So for instance, on Wednesday, what does that look like? Wednesday is pigs in a blanket. I don't need a recipe for that, but I like to have the little marker there just to kind of keep everything in order. And then here we've got our soup recipe. And then back here is where week 2 starts. And then we just continue to cycle through. So the first week of August, we will start weeks 1 and 3, and then we will just move on accordingly. And then back here, we have got, like I said, just some different snacks if they want to make those for themselves. And then we've got this one got out of order. Let me fix that. We've got our muffins and then our cookies that they can pick from. And then I just, like I said, ordered the ingredients that go along with that for that week. And so that is what the lunch and breakfast binders look like. So I'm going to put these in the pantry and then I will show you the school binder. Staying with the same desire to have a one-stop shop, I create a school binder every year. And in this binder, I house literally every bit of information that I need for my kids' school for that year. I am going to try and show you as much as I can without showing you personal information because I already have this all set up. For the most part, I did leave one sheet empty just so that I could show that to you without having information on it already. But I will show you to the best of my ability. So on the front, I just created this little front sheet to make it cute. And then on the inside, I have a lot of different tabs, as you can see. Over here, this is something that pertains to Christian's senior pictures for the yearbook. And so it has all the information on there as far as what he needs to wear, what time his slot is, and like I said, just full of a lot of information. And because that's coming up very soon, I wanted to have that front and center so that I could have all of that information within an easy reach. So that is why that's there. Over here beside that, these are for his actual senior pictures that we take, as a family, like we're responsible for these pictures. I went through Pinterest and Google and I found just a bunch of different ideas for like poses and things like that Christian and I both thought were, good options for when he does his pictures. He's going to be doing his like the end of September, first week of October. And so we have a little bit of time, but I wanted to get ahead of the game because again, that is who I am. And just have a place where we could kind of just have all of that housed. So for instance, these are the different ideas that we came up with for his pictures that go along with like his sport. So his sport is golf. And so these are just different ideas that we found for, posing with your golf clubs and bag and all of that. And then underneath, I found different poses that are just, individual, not sports related, but just him and the background. And so then I went ahead and added some different outfits that he liked that we can incorporate into all of those different photos. So these are things that he has or that we need to look for between now and the time that he takes his pictures. We are also doing family pictures at the same time. So whatever it is that he's wearing, we are also going to coordinate ourselves with that. That way we can just be a one and done thing on that day and no one has to suffer for the rest of the year. So that is our plan for that. For the basic information, this is the one that I did not fill out. So I have on the side here, this is one of my main tabs. I have main tabs and then I have kind of like corresponding tabs, if you will. So with this one, I have this sheet that I found on Canva, and I tweaked it a little bit because it had some stuff that I didn't need and all of that. So I just kind of adapted it to be what I needed it to be. But up here at the top, we've got the name of the school. Obviously, I know what that is, but in the event that anything were to happen, Sam and I were flying together and something, really bad happened, this would be a place that anybody could get to. Obviously, my kids are at the age where they kind of have that information, but as we get farther down the page, you'll see kind of what also this page is for. So we've got principal, admin assistant, how to reach them. And then down here at the bottom is a place for financial. So I have here what the website is, my username, my password, account number, who the financial advisor is at the school, and what their email is. Then on the back here, I'll just show you this part. I have the calendar for the year. And so on the front page, it is the calendar for first semester. And then on the back page is second semester. And then behind that, it has the school name on it, so I'm not going to show you that, but I have dress code and school supply list. And then let's see, what is next? 10th grade. So we've got 10th grade here, and then 12th grade. So anything that ever comes home for either grade, such as all of their syllabi, the teachers give out their syllabi at the beginning of the week. Once school gets back, they have to sign them and send them back in. When they bring them home, I make a copy of them in my notes app on my phone, and then I print them out, and we put them in this binder behind each grade level. So we have all the syllabi for 10th grade, all the syllabi for 12th grade, not yet, but we will. And all of that is housed in here in case we ever need to go back and reference that. And then for Christian, like I said, I feel bad because I can't show you exactly what this looks like, but I feel like you can pretty much get a good understanding of what I keep in here anyway. So behind Christian's 12th grade tab, we have class trip. He is obviously going on class trip this year, and so it just has all of the information behind there that pertains to the class trip. I also have a sheet for any like payments that I need to make outside of the ones that I'm already aware of. I have printed off all of the information pertaining to what we have already paid because we've already started making payments towards that. And so all of that is housed in one area. And then for him, because he is doing dual credit classes. So you can do dual credit your junior and senior year. So he did 3 dual credit last year, and then he will do 4 this year. So this is a tab that will have all of that information as well, because those classes go through one of the colleges here in town. And so that is just a little bit different than his actual school that he's at every day. And then for him, I've got a tab for scores as well. So his ACT and all of that, as well as his transcript, is behind that. Orders, that is anything that we order from the school, such as spiritware, merchandise, clothes, anything that comes through that we have had to purchase. The order forms go behind there. So yearbooks, things like that. Then over here on the side, I have a space for Christian's school physical and Chloe's school physical. So they have to get a sports physical every year. And again, I make a copy of that. I send that electronically to the school, and then I keep the original. And then here is just all of that. Then I write down when I emailed it to the school. That way I have that information in case for whatever reason it didn't make it there. My kids have volunteer hours that they have to do every year, and so all of their volunteer sheets that have been signed and again sent to the school, I have them behind this tab. And again, I take a picture, send them to the school, and I keep the originals. And then behind this tab is the parking tab. So this is the permission slip saying, yes, my child can drive to school, the information of their car, license plate number, all of that is on that form. Same thing, I take a picture of it, send it to the school, make a note as to when I did that, and then I keep the original. And then behind that is any signed forms that I need to sign and send back that are out of just the regular forms like we just mentioned. And then this tab right here is for sports. So once we get all of the sports information coming in a couple of weeks, Chloe will do tennis in the fall, and then neither one of them do a winter sport, but then in the spring, Christian will obviously do golf, Chloe will do track. And so all of that will go back behind here, and then I just have these little tabs up here on the top. So purple is tennis, blue is track, and green is golf. And then I can just easily turn to that if I need to. And I think that I covered it all as best as I could. These little tabs right here, the blue and the pink, they're volunteer hours, but the pink is for Chloe, blue is for Christian. That way I can just turn to it easily. And that is what their school binder looks like. Okay, the last thing that I need to do, I showed you guys the little notes that I had them do, and I've kind of had a different thought come to mind of how I wanted to put these in their room. I am going to laminate them, cut them out, and then I am going to put them on Christian's mirror where he gets ready, just kind of along the side, and then we are going to put these in Chloe's area where she gets ready in the morning. She puts her makeup on in a different place outside of her bathroom, and so that is where we're going to put these. But I wanted to show you my laminator because I use this thing literally all the time. I've had this for years and I use it all of the time. So I just have my laminate sheets and I put inside whatever I want to laminate. And then of course those are going to be open so that this will fit. And you know it's ready because both of your lights are lit up, and it just comes through and it will laminate your form or whatever it is that you're wanting to laminate. And then you just let it cool, cut it out if you need to, and it is amazing. This is on my storefront if you are in the market, but I love this thing. I've had it for years, and this is actually my second one. I've had this one, I think, for 7 or 8 years, but then I had the same thing. I think it was the same one before that, and I just ran it to death. I always like to go over it twice just to make sure that it is in fact sealed. But is that not the greatest thing? And then I will just go through, cut those out, and then we will go and put them where they need to be, and then I'll show you what they look like. Here is how Christian's turned out. He's just got all the things that he likes about himself on the top. And then in the middle, these are the things that he wants to achieve over the year. And then on the bottom, those are the quotes that he picked out for the year. So I think that that turned out great. This is to the left of his sink, so he doesn't have to worry about like getting water on it and whatever, but that's also why I chose to laminate them, just because this is obviously above the sink, and that's all I need to say about that. So just a little precaution, but I think that that turned out just great. And this is how Chloe's turned out. She gets ready for the most part in this room in the morning. This is where her makeup and all of that is. And so this is the place that she is more likely to see these. And this is how hers turned out. I think it is so cute. And they're just like Christians in that they are right by where they're going to be, and they can just easily see them and look at them while they get ready, just remind themselves and just start their day off with positivity. So I think overall this project was a success. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope that you found motivation from this video, maybe different ideas to just kind of kickstart your back to school planning. I would love to hear in the comments below just different things that you incorporate into your home and your lifestyle during the school year to make everything just kind of flow a little bit easier. I would love if we could just all share that down below and then just gain inspiration from not just me, but each other. If you are not following over on Instagram, jump over there. I post more like things that go on in my actual life outside of these videos, pictures of my home, things like that that you can keep up with. And if you have not yet decided to subscribe to this channel, but feel like maybe you could gain inspiration or motivation from it, I would love it if you would click on that subscribe button. And if you click the bell, it will notify you every time a new video pops up. That way you don't ever have to worry about missing out on anything. As always, the QR code is up in the corner for my storefront. Anything I ever talk about in my videos that comes from Amazon is all linked right there. And if it's not from Amazon, it will be linked in the description box below. All right, friends, until next time, just remember, be intentional about what is important and necessary and eliminate all of the rest. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.